Joining me on today's episode is an Irishman turned adopted Aussie. A 28-fight career that has included it all from pubs and clubs to sold-out arenas internationally. The brutal southpaw has fought them all and tested his might amongst the best. Super Darragh Foley, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, JJ. I like that introduction.
You like it?
Not bad, not bad.
Now speak to me. Young Darragh, how does he find his way into the sport of boxing?
I used to play football, soccer, as you call it over here.
Yeah.
I was never the greatest, I'll be honest. You know, I was the general on the pitch, centre midfield. So I used to run stuff and tell everyone what they were doing so bad. But I wasn't really great at doing it myself, you know. But rallying the troops. I was good at rallying the troops and getting stuck in.
Yeah.
But I love boxing. I used to always watch boxing with me old man, the old Sky Sports, Ricky Hatton.
Yes.
Kind of that era. On Friday nights, and I used to love boxing. So when I think I was 15 when I went down to the boxing gym, the local boxing gym.
Late start, 15.
Yeah, late start, man. And because we had a couple of scrapes on the street, I wasn't I wasn't making my fistic debut, put it that way.
Yes, but we like to call them the unofficials,
100%,
right?
yeah.
So we've had a few unofficials, yeah.
But went down, and because it was so popular at the time, they said, "Look, we can add you to a waiting list."
Okay.
And it was like, I actually went down with a couple of friends at this stage, and I said, "We can add you to the waiting list." And how long is it going to be? Oh, it could be 6 months, 9 months. It's kind of lost interest in it again. Yeah. Then I think when I was 16, I had a summer job working with my old man on the building sites, and I got friendly with a guy who worked there. His son was a boxer, and he was kind of saying, "Oh, why don't you come down when my son boxes?" So I went down with him, and that's kind of officially when I got into it, like about 16. So many moons ago.
And they say it's a pretty common misconception that for any fighter that comes through and is successful, they normally come from either a traumatized past or hardship or anything like that. Was there anything like that early on that's kind of pushed you to be the fighter that you are?
Nah, it was. I'm no sub story, you know.
Yeah.
It was a working class upbringing, you know.
Yep.
Just I guess I always had that dog in me, you know. I'd never turn away from a fight. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start them now, but I'd never back down.
And where do you think that comes from?
Maybe it's just inherently in you, you know. I guess you're either born a bitch or you're not. Nah, but to put it, I don't know, man. I can't say it's from generational trauma or all these stupid words they band around nowadays. It was just the way it was, you know what I mean? And it's the way it is. But that's kind of.
So that 15-year-old walks into the boxing gym.
Yeah.
How long until he has his first amateur fight?
So I think it was either the summer when I was 15.
Yeah.
Or I think it was 15 going on 16.
Yeah.
I could have started because summer finished around September. My birthday's end of September.
Yep.
So I think I had my first fight down when it wasn't until probably it was about 17 and a half, because I was kind of out of it. I left that gym. I went to another gym. I never really had a sustained period where I was training.
Yep.
I was a bit wild as well. So it was like I didn't really.
You
train
wild?
that.
I would never have picked it. Never have picked it.
But I was like I didn't take it serious. You know.
Yeah.
I kind of used to go because it was cool, you know.
Yeah.
I was learning how to throw punches. I'm like, oh, okay, I can use this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I can use this where I want to. I'm not like learning the intricacies of a left hook and slip.
Of course.
I'm like, okay, show me how do you knock someone out?
Yep.
How do you and what should I throw like in a street fight? Why are you asking these questions? No, I'm just saying like for
just in case.
Yeah,
case.
You know, I mean, I could get robbed on the way out here, bro.
You never know.
But,
right?
So it wasn't until I'd say I was about probably about a year in where I started, you know, having some consistency.
Yeah.
Then that's when I started competing.
Okay. And we've
but
spoken.
even still, like I mean, it wasn't like right. fighting 1 week, first Saturday of the month,
Yeah.
fighting the end. It was like one fight here, fight 4 months later. Like there was, I
Yeah.
never built any consistency.
Yeah, and
Probably
well, that's the word, right? Especially for an
100%.
amateur career, you
Yeah.
see these kids that are being bled through the amateur systems. They're fighting each and every weekend, it seems, right?
Yeah.
So I believe you've spoken about it before. You had an 11-fight amateur career. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
And
it.
a tough record. A tough record.
Better than some, worse than others. At least I won one, mate. I won one.
Exactly. You
But,
won one.
Yeah, that's it. So I mean, that alone is testament. I never really lost the first round. I'd always go in and start like.
Yep.
But again, it's a 10K. It's a 10K race. It ain't a 100-meter sprint.
Of course.
And then I just gas out and end up getting beat because I didn't really train hard. I didn't really convict to the boxing lifestyle,
Yep.
which is the way you have to be. You got to
Yep.
be all in. You know, if you're kind of fucking around on the weekends and missing a couple of sessions and not running, not doing no road work.
Yeah, no.
I never ran. I didn't, you know, I'd go down to the boxing gym maybe 2-3 nights a week and that was it, you know.
Of course. Now, we'll fast forward. How do you end up in Australia? And it wasn't Sydney first, was it? It was
Nah.
Perth.
Yeah. What was it? I was 22 when I came out here. So I'd had nearly every job under the sun back in Ireland. I was,
Yeah.
When I finished school, I was an apprentice electrician.
Yes.
I was a car salesman.
Yep.
I was a letting agent.
A car salesman.
Yeah, a letting agent in a estate agent.
Yep.
What else? I used to walk in the airport,
Yeah.
standing beside an Aston Martin DB9
Yeah.
and a Range Rover Evoque. I remember when they first came out.
Yep.
This would have been like 2001.
Yeah.
I think when they first came out. And people going by, it was the departures. So, oh yeah, what's happening, mate? You want to win one of these? Win one of what? An Aston Martin? What am I going to do with it? Nah, this is what we do. You win it, and then we ship it to Australia. You serious? Yeah, come over. So what it was, they'd buy raffle tickets.
Yeah.
And it was a spot the ball thing like
Yeah.
on an old iPad.
Yeah.
So say it'd be a game of football, you have to point the exact centre of where the ball was on the screen. Now bear in mind there's like millions
Yeah,
of
yeah,
pixels
of
on
course.
it. So you have
Of
to get
course.
the exact centre.
Yeah.
And I never met them, but supposedly someone won it every month.
Oh, yeah. Right. Every
From-
month.
Yeah, from all
Yeah.
over the world. Bear
Yeah.
in mind, it was B2B. Best of the best. Actually, one that he's still running. But they'd be
Really?
in airports all over England.
Yeah.
There'd like one in Dubai. And then there'd be one draw every month.
Hmm.
And wherever you want in the world, that car gets shipped to you. Or else you could take it in cash as well. So again,
No
I
way.
never met a winner. I can't verify them reports, but
Yeah,
that's
allegedly
what we
there were winners.
That's what we were told to say. So, yeah, that was the last job I had before I came to Australia.
Right. And what prompted the move? Why Australia?
Because I didn't want to spend my life standing in the fucking airport selling raffle tickets to win some fucking some imaginary car, you know.
Yeah, of
Nah, it was Australia was kind of the in thing at the minute.
Was
Like,
it?
Loads. It's very easy for us to get visas.
Right.
It's like I have friends that were coming over here. I'd log on to me Facebook. You see, down Bondi Beach today, all them sitting there drinking, and me standing beside the fucking Range Rover,
In an
Evoque,
airport.
Hoxie Dublin Airport departures, looking at all these people going to Australia and thinking, what am I doing with
Yeah.
my life?
Yeah,
So
of
I just
course.
wanted more from me, you know. I wanted change, and I met Lauren, who's now my wife. She was
Yes.
like mine, that she was just finishing college. I was gonna go the year before when I was 21, but she was saying wait till I'll finish and I'll come with you. So I waited, and here we are. Yeah, nearly 12 years later, man.
And you land in Perth, is it?
Land in Perth, yeah.
And how long are you in Perth before you walk into a boxing gym?
I'd say about 3 months. About 3 months, yeah. Obviously, you're at the landing in Perth. You do the
Yeah, of course. You do the Perth things,
the
right?
lifestyle,
Yeah.
all of the above.
Yep.
But it was when I was traveling through Southeast Asia. So I left Ireland on the 17th of August, 2022. So what's that? Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to Perth until the 29th of October. So I'd spent all that time traveling through, flew into Hong Kong.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, went to Thailand, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Cambodia, Laos.
Yeah.
So travel all
Just
around.
seeing the world.
Just seeing the world, man.
Yeah.
I'd never been to that part of the world before. And I'd recommend anyone to go that hasn't went, you know, what a eye-opener. But, you know, it gave you a lot of time to think, like, I'm thinking, fuck, I ain't got no trade, like, I've no qualifications, like, I've no degree or doctrine or whatever. I'm like, what am I gonna do over here?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was a bit daunting. I'm trying to think,
of course.
like,
Especially at that age, right?
Yeah. But then it's like, you know what? I wanna give boxing another chance.
Yeah.
Because I'm not happy with the way my amateur career finished. I mean, who would? I'm a proud man. Fucking 1 in 10. Like, you know, that didn't sit
But you
right
knew
with
you
me.
had the
And
potential
I
to be
did.
more.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. Like, if I knew I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do it. I'm a realist.
Yep.
But I knew there was not a lot left in the tank. I knew the tank it was untapped. I didn't even really, you know, try it. So it's like, I wanna go over and give it a crack and see if I can do it. In that first 3 months before I even went to a boxing gym, in the they used to run boxing shows in, I think it was the Italian club in Perth in Northbridge. And I went down to one of the fight nights, and I remember standing there with a pint or something like whiskey, whatever. Thinking, you know what, I could fucking do this. My mate was probably saying you were drunk, because like, nah, these, like, I was observing the skill level. I think, these ain't no better than me, man. I'll be king of this fucking Italian club in 6 months.
Yeah.
So then I went down. I was googling best boxing clubs in Perth. I was in Scarborough.
Yeah.
There was one up the road, Balcaddy, Harry's Gym. Loads of professionals trying.
Yeah. The famous Harry's Gym.
I was like, sweet, let's go. So I went there. I was trying to ring it up. The number would just ring out, ring out. I learned for obvious reasons after work probably. But so I went up. It was like a big industrial estate, not too dissimilar to this one.
Yes.
And right down the end of the back was where the GPS on the phone was bringing me.
Yeah.
Now, there was no like massive sign, Harry's Gym or whatever. It was just, that was 15 and this is 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
So big steel door out front, couple of cameras, CCTV facing. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, where am I?
Where am I, man? So I bang on the door, and but I hear people inside. Like, I hear the bing, the round timer go off. So I bang on the door again. Door flings open. This big, massive fella standing. You alright, mate? I was like, oh yeah. Is this a boxing gym? Yeah, boxing gym, mate. Yeah. So I found you online. I want to start boxing. Goes, oh yeah, you're professional. I was like, nah. But I might go pro. Yeah. It's like, oh, how many fights have you had? It's like, 50, 60, you know, whatever. Let me in the fucking door. I gotta get in the door first, you know.
Yeah.
50, 60, you know. How'd you go? Yeah, all right. Better than some, worse than others.
Yeah, won some, lost some.
Yeah, all right, you can come back Monday. We start trying. It's halfway through a session now. Come back Monday, bring your gear.
Yeah.
So I went back to Monday, and I met Craig. That wasn't Craig, that was Kane Melbourne.
Yes.
One of his understudies that was there. Went back and met Craig.
Yes.
And he brings me upstairs to his office. Like, sit down. It was like something out of Al Capone or something. So he's like sitting on this big, leather chair.
Yeah.
A little fucking lamp over him. All it was missing was him puffing on a Cuban.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me about you. It's like, oh, I'm a boxer. I want to, fight. He's like, it's a professional gym. It's like, yeah, well, I might, I was watching professional boxing last week and they're not that good. And he was laughing. Okay. Are you better? I was like, well, we'll see, I guess. He goes, okay, come back tomorrow, same time. Have you got a milk card? I was like, yeah. I hadn't, but fuck, get a milk card, it's easy. Yeah. He's like, come back tomorrow and we'll see how good you are. I was like, okay, sweet, no worries. So I'm...
what's your fitness level at this point? Is it disaster or a bit better than a disaster?
Look, I'd be good for a solid fucking round.
Yeah, good. Three of the best. Three of the best, yeah.
Three at a push. I'd give anyone a good fucking round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd start back running a little bit and get in shape. Like, I always want to be in shape. Anyway,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think that's a prerequisite of being a man. You must always be in shape.
Yep.
But so I went back the next day, had me mouth guarded cheap at $5 chemist warehouse job.
Hot water molds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100% thing hanging out. You know?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
And he's like, "Oh, warm up, Irish warm up." I was like, "All right, this is gonna be something anyway."
Yeah.
And then I see coming down the stairs, Chris John, and I knew boxing because
of course.
I was a fan of the sport in the
Yes.
same way you are. Chris John, like the WBA fighter of the decade,
Yep.
world champion at
Special
this stage.
fighter.
And I'm like, "Oh no, like there's about maybe 5-6 other people in there. Maybe one guy's like a cruise away.
It's not
sure
him.
they ain't gonna spy him.
Yeah.
This guy's like finished his session. No one else has got the jock strap
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
and
of course.
16 ounce or 14 ounce gloves or whatever, you know. Greased up and I'm like, I know where this is going. Well, hey, I'm here now. What am I gonna do? Fight,
course.
fucking let's go, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So he got in, and I think we ended up doing 4 rounds or something.
You pushed out 4.
Yeah, I think so. But I was fucking.
All heart though.
Yeah, that's it. Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
Like, what? There's no other option. Like,
And who was
I mean,
cornering you?
looking back, it's crazy to think that just a kid what was back then on the opposite side of the world.
Of
In
course.
some industrial estate, not knowing anyone in the whole gym, just sparring some world champion after being on the
course.
beach for 3 months. But yeah, I went in and I just fought as hard as I could.
Yeah.
I done all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Because then after, oh, hey, Irish, you got balls, son.
Yeah.
You can train it. You can train it.
Yeah.
Come back tomorrow. I think that was like an initiation
Of
to
course.
see what
Yeah.
what I was about.
That's your
you know?
litmus test. Absolutely.
Yeah, and to see, like, obviously I was gassed. He could tell I was gassed. Had nothing in me, but there was no quitting.
No
There
quit.
never is. Hey, can I get out? What we doing 2 rounds? Nah, I just stood in there till
Yeah, he
they
said
didn't
"Let's
want
stop."
me no more. You know.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started training there. I think that was my foot in the door, and I passed the test.
Obviously, Chris John aside, what did you find in terms of difference between the kind of regular standard of an Irish boxing gym to an Australian? Was the Irish far more advanced, far tougher, and the Aussie gyms were easier, or did you not see a difference at all?
It's hard to say really, because I was thrust straight into a professional boxing gym.
Yeah.
Going from an amateur setup.
Yeah.
Where you'd have 4 or 5 coaches amongst 25 people. So the whole time there's lots of drilling in Ireland. There's like everyone's kind of working together. You have different coaches.
Yeah.
To this grotty gym in the fucking back arse of nowhere.
Yeah.
Where everyone's just very much on their own mission. You've one guy 2 weeks out in a fight. You've a heavy, so it was kind of different. It's not as straight away. I guess I learned that boxing, professional boxing, is just you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
it
ain't
is.
no team environment. Well, at least what I was thrust into.
Yeah.
I know some trainers like to do it different. It's more teamy and shit like that. But that was just, hey, this is sink or swim. Like my first ever training session.
Yeah,
No,
of course.
no one
Deep
there
end.
doing my corner. No one there. Hey, this is you. It's on your back, man.
Yeah, of course.
You want to do this or not? So that whole aspect of like teamy kind of even sporty. Like,
Yeah.
I knew from the beginning that this is a business. This is a hard fucking game now. If I want to do this, I gotta do it. Like, you know. And then off my back, I was like, fuck, whoa. I was scared. I was like, fuck, am I gonna spy him again tomorrow?
Yeah, I know.
I gotta be on it.
Of course.
So next morning I'm out running because I have to be fit. I wasn't following like some master plan that's laid out by the head coach and then filtered down through his 4 or 5 assistants and this is how we're gonna build someone up. It was like, fuck, man, I'm on the battlefield now and I ain't got no artillery. I gotta get loading myself up. So that's what I done, man. I just started running. I never used to run in Ireland. I never used to really do any fitness or weights or anything really, you know. So I was like, okay, it's on me now. I know what to expect, and it's on me to be ready, you know.
Of course. I think it's so important, and a lot of people will disagree, but a lot of people in the boxing fraternity will definitely agree. There's something to be said about the person you become after you've gotten your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
You learn so much about the mold and makeup of who you are as a person when you're in there and it's just you. And your nose is bleeding, you know your eyes swelling, right? Your ribs are absolutely caning and you're going, shit, I got another 2 minutes of this in here. I got another 2 rounds or I got another minute, whatever it is. I think a lot's to be said about personal growth. I mean, for me personally, right, I've had probably more bad spars than have had good, right?
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough to kind of to travel the world as well. I've been in some pretty amazing gyms, lived some pretty special nights as well. And that's helped me exceptionally in terms of being on a showroom floor, being in business meetings. Because once you get past that fear of the inevitable, right? Well, it's going to happen and I've got to go out.
Yeah.
I think a lot's to be said about your character
Yeah.
after that. In terms of what's next for you, do you go straight into the pros when you're in Perth or do you have a couple amateurs?
Nah, I went straight pro.
Right. And,
So
and how long between walking into that gym to your first pro fight?
It was, I think, let me see. I think I went into that gym in the new year.
Yeah.
So I got there just before Halloween. Around the new year, I joined that gym.
Yep.
And then originally they were gonna try and do something around St. Patrick's Day, get on that card.
Yeah, perfect.
But I wasn't ready.
Yep.
My fitness said, there's no rush. We'll just wait till you are ready. And then I think I was meant to be out in May or June and something happened. So in the end, it was August. August the 31st, I had my debut. 2013. Yeah, coming up to 11 years.
2013. Wow. And at lightweight?
Junior welter.
Junior welter.
Junior welter, yeah.
Right.
So it started, I had me first 5 fights at junior welter.
Yeah.
But then, like, I was looking around. I didn't just, like, I took up boxing because I wanted
To be great.
yeah, to be someone, to be
Yeah.
remembered. I'm like, fuck, if I'm doing this,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it, you know. I'm not here
Yeah.
to be like a 2-0 boxer and then put on my Instagram bio, professional boxer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
walk
no,
around
no,
the
no.
pubs and be like, oh, yeah, did you see this? And tell all my mates and be the best fighter back at house parties at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
If I'm doing this, I want to do it and be involved in great fights and try and make some history and try and be remembered, you know?
Yeah.
So then I was looking around the landscape at junior welter and there's kind of no one there. Then
Domestically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then I looked down the rankings and there was George Cambosis.
Yes.
There was a Val Borg.
Yeah.
There was a Brandon Ogilvy.
Yep.
There was a lot of guys that were
Joe
world
Bert de
ranked.
los Reyes, another big
100%.
name.
I won't forget him, that's for
No.
sure. There was lots of guys that were involved in good fights.
Yeah.
And there was noise around that division. So I said, you know what? I'll make the sacrifice to get down there.
Yeah.
To be involved in these great fights. Otherwise, I'm just gonna fuck around at my natural way, doing what, you know.
Yeah.
And I was skinnier back then. Like I didn't do any weights or anything.
Yeah.
So I think my first fight I made junior welterweight quite easy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know, maybe I could get down there.
It's funny because the first time I ever unofficially met you,
Yeah.
I was in Macau, China with my dad. We had travelled over to watch Billy Dib fight Yevgeny Gradovich the second time on the Pacquiao-Rios undercard. And we're walking through Macau Square. And for me, that was kind of like my first big fight experience. I'd never gone over to the States and seen a fight over there. So I was like blown away. I would go into the Nike store and I'd see Miguel Cotto there, or Tim Bradley was there, or Provodnikov, or Roy Jones Jr., whatever it was. So it was just crazy. Like you'd see all these personalities. And at the time, I was like, I used to get all my boxing information from Ellie Sekbak.
Yeah.
He was like the guy, kind of still is, right? And I'm in Macau Square. We're crossing the road. There's people everywhere. And I go to my dad. I go, I'm only 18 years old, 17, 18 years old. And I go, that's Ellie Sekbak over there. He's kind of like the biggest dude, you know.
Yeah.
And people are a bit standoffish of him because he was a big deal. And then this young, loud Irishman puts his arm around him and goes, Sekbak, baby, like that, loud.
Yeah.
And Ellie Sekbak was like, oh, how are you? I can't believe you know me, blah, 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 whatever. And then I was like, oh, this must be some up-and-coming fighter. And we can still find the YouTube video today of you crossing that street. And then you would have been, what, 2-0, 3-0 maybe not even that. And
I was 2-0.
2-0.
Because I was at the fight, and I think 2 weeks before, and then I broke me thumb, and it was still in cast.
Yes.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. Or it was in something, yeah.
And you were telling him that you're going to be on the stage that Pacquiao and Rios are fighting, and you're going to be there. So it's just crazy how all of that links up. And I remember going, I remember to look out for him.
Yeah.
And then I kind of followed you a little bit. And then next thing you know, I'm at Club Punch Bowl watching you fight Jobert de los Reyes. Like, it's just a crazy story from where you've been. Why were you in Macau?
Same reason as you.
Just watching the fights.
Yeah. Watching the fights. It was me missus' birthday, and I was like, I would go to, Hong Kong, because that was our first stop when we left Ireland.
Yep.
And then if we're going to Hong Kong, I mean, we may as well go to Macau. Coincidentally, there's a big fight that weekend. You plan that? Don't be silly, as if.
Yeah, I know. Complete coincidence, right?
So, we went with a couple of days to Macau.
Yeah.
What did you think of that atmosphere? It was weird, wasn't it?
It was very strange. Like, I even remember you couldn't smoke on the street, but you could smoke in the Venetian.
Yeah.
So like you'd walk in and then it would just smell of cigarette smoke. But for me, it was just crazy because, like, as a boxing fan, I was so blown away by how accessible every fighter was.
Yeah.
So I'd wake up in the morning and I'd do my run on the treadmill, and then I'd have Mikey Garcia running on the treadmill next to me, and then Gradovic in his plastics, Robert Garcia in there. Then I'd have Andy Ruiz actually fought on that undercard.
Did he?
Yeah. And I remember him hitting pads in there, and I was like, oh, that's like great. Some bloke's doing his PT in the morning, and they're like, no, he's actually signed to Top Rank. He's actually gonna be all right. I was like, all right, no worries, dude. Like, look at the shape of him.
Yeah.
But it was just,
it
was very odd.
Yeah.
The whole thing was odd. Even the crowd. Like, I remember Pacquiao actually walked out to Raw by Katy Perry.
Yeah.
And I remember the seat that I was sitting in shaking because of how loud it was. It was just an odd week in general, I thought. But
we was sitting up in the bleachers, like right at the back.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think I'd been out the night before in Macau.
Yeah.
And it was like the fight was on at 11 or something.
Yeah, it was on very early.
So
very, very early.
You want like a hair of the dog. Even earlier than that, maybe. I think the undercard might have started like at 9 or like.
Yeah, because I think Billy was on at about 9:30.
Yeah, right.
Which was like which was crazy, and he was the co-main.
But I was trying to get like a hair of the dog, just to pick you back up. None of the bars were open, no alcohol, what's going on?
Yeah,
and we were sitting like right up at the back in all Pacquiao's fans.
Yeah,
and it was. I don't know if these people like knew each other, or surely they couldn't have known each other because there was probably like 300-400.
Yeah.
But they'd all stand up and start singing at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know what songs it was. It was all in Tagalan or whatever the languages are.
Yeah.
But it was like little like boy band songs and like and doing like little dance moves in synchronization.
And were you joining in? Sure.
Nah, I'm like, can you sit down? Bro, sit down. And then it was just non-stop. It was just a weird atmosphere, like for a boxing event. I'm sitting there in like a K-pop concert, trying to sit down. Then anytime Pacquiao would land a punch, which was quite a lot against Rios.
Yeah, of course. I know.
Like hysteria, just that noise. You're like, I know. What is this? Is this like a One Direction concert or what's going on here?
I know. It was like that. Like even the week prior, like when they do the grand arrivals and everything like that, it was like it was Elvis that was coming through, like this massive superstar, and they were just packed out. And you know how patriotic the Filipino fans are. They were just going nuts for him. It was a crazy week in general. Even like getting to see that insight of what it's like at the top level, because I was there with Billy, so I was going to the weigh-ins, the official weigh-ins. I was watching the open workouts and everything else in between, and then you would see Pacquiao in passing, or you'd see Rios in passing.
I was drinking with Miguel Cotto after the fight.
Yeah,
so
cool.
We went into the bar in the hotel.
Yeah.
The main one, I can't think what it was. You go in, the bar was there, and there was like a stage with all.
Yeah. I remember.
Tables were in front of the bar.
Yeah. And
then a dance floor after. So I walk in, and it's like pitch black. The bar's over there. I'm looking around. So what the fuck, Miguel Cotto? So I run over, hey, Miguel.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, just sitting there with his mate, the fat mate that used to always be in the 24/7s.
Yeah.
And I knew him from the 24/7. Like, yo, I see you on the 24/7s. Like, hey. He's like, what happened to your hand? I was like, oh, I'm a boxer. Okay, tell me about you too now. And I think at that stage when he's seen I was a boxer, I'm probably in awe of him. He's like,
Of
hey,
course.
come sit down with us instead of just saying,
So gangster.
leave me alone and
Yeah.
come sit down with us. So then I was like, oh, can I get you a drink? He's like, oh, I don't usually drink. I was like, I don't need that, but tonight's tonight.
Yeah.
So I went up and got, I think it was like black sambucas.
Yeah.
Brought it down. I was like, oh, anything but black sambucas or photographs of me and him taking shots. And then literally like every half an hour I was going up just bringing fucking drinks down. Hey, sambuca. In the end, I ended up falling asleep at the bar. The miss on photograph like this with me playing 4 shots sambucas. She went off to the toilet or something. She went back to the table. Yeah. I was like, Miguel, do you know where Darragh is? Crazy man left like 10 minutes ago. I don't know. She's up looking around. I'm asleep at the bar with a tray of 4 sambucas in front of me. But yeah, like that, I was chatting to Igis Klimas in another bar.
Yeah.
And it was just before Lomachenko was meant to fight Salido.
Yes.
And I was reading it online, is that fight done? He's like, yeah, we're going to be world champions. I was like, I don't know about that. He's like, what you mean? It's like, Salido's a bad man. Like, I don't think, I love Lomachenko. I don't think he's ready for that.
Yeah.
His brother, he said 357 amateur fights. You don't think he's never seen a Salido? I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because if Salido was in the amateurs, he'd get disqualified
after
30 seconds. I don't think he ain't seen a hombre like him.
Yeah.
I go, we'll see. I was like, okay, like if I was ever gonna see it again, I'd bet money so I'd be able to collect it. But don't say they warn you. And then when that fight unfolded, I was literally like, you know, but like that, like you bump into loads of people, and it was very accessible, you know.
See, Roy Jones was the big one for me. I was shopping and Roy was there, and Roy was like, he is the reason I got into boxing.
Yeah.
Right? Watching his YouTube clips and everything else in between. And the first ever boxing event I went to was actually him versus Danny Green, which is obviously heartbreaking as a Roy Jones Jr. fan. But when I saw him, I was like, holy shit, like this is him.
Take a dive or what? Did you ask him?
No, I didn't ask him at the time. Yeah, that didn't come up in conversation.
Maybe it would have been a bit off-putting. Hey, Roy, what's going on,
Roy,
mate?
I just want to ask you a quick question. No, he was so cool, like super, super cool. And he's like, where's your accent from? He's like, you Australian? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, you must be here with Billy Dib. He's like, how's he going to go? And I was like, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I couldn't have even imagined the words that were coming out of my mouth at the time. And he goes, hey, listen, he goes, I've got a media shoot to go through. And I was like, oh, can I grab a photo before? And he's like, no, you can come with me. And I was like,
brought you with him.
Yeah. So he took me down. I was like, oh, can I get you a drink? Can I get you anything? He's like, oh, I'll just take a bottle of water. He was telling me stories about, you know, all the way through his career and the love he gets now and stuff like that. He's just, they say like never meet your idols. Yeah. But Roy was one of the ones where I was like, fuck, he was just a good dude.
Nah, that's cool, man.
He was just a good dude. But yeah, Macau was a pretty interesting place. So let's fast forward now. Now you're a pro and you've had a few wins in Perth. How do you land in Sydney?
In my third fight, I was after winning the West Australian Junior Lightweight Championship.
Yeah.
And I knew like I could see I was fighting with, I moved on to Angelo. I was fighting with Angelo and Dragonfire.
Yep.
They were promoting all shows in like a nightclub, a Thunderdome nightclub out there. Yeah. I'm watching all these shows like on Fox Sports. They're in Melbourne or in Sydney. Like, why don't they ever come to Perth? Did they ever come here? Oh, nah, not really. So I'm like, okay, so nothing's really happening here. Yeah. The people I was sparring was kind of, you know, the apex at that stage. I wasn't
of course.
Really, you know.
You were outgrowing the gym.
So I had to move
Which
on.
happens, right?
Yeah, I had to move on and I could see that that's where everything was happening. Yeah. Not to mention I was young, maybe 24. Yeah. Perth's just a bit quiet for that age, you know what I mean? Sydney's where that was all happening. So I was like, fuck it, let's go down there.
And you already had some friends in Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of Irish in Sydney, so it was an easy kind of switch.
Yeah, and then you land at Bondi Boxing with Mr. Del Vecchio.
Yeah.
And how long are you there for?
I don't know.
You
couple of years.
Yeah.
I was there a while.
Yeah, you were there a while. And what do you remember what your first fight was with Tony?
My first fight with Tony would have been my fourth fight against was it Andrew Wallace? I think it was Andrew Wallace. A black English kid. Good fighter. Good fighter back in his day. That was my first fight with Tony, yeah.
You had some great wins with Tony.
Mm.
Some great wins. And you were part of, obviously, the relocation from the original Bondi Boxing Club to the one where it is in Waterloo now.
Now we had some good wins, good times with Tony.
Yeah.
You know that Tony was never. I'm not talking down the guy. He was never the most technical coach, but you wanted to. He'd do so much for you that you wanted to almost win for him.
Yep.
And that alone is a great.
Is the rise? Yeah.
That alone is a great skill to have. You know, some coaches may have that innate ability. Some may be brilliant game planners, strategists. Some may be great padmen. Some may be. But that was Tony's kind of gold star. That he'd do so much for you, you know. And it was only then when I left him after, it was like, fuck, I've got a puncture. Like, what, you're going to fix after this? But before that, I'd just ring Tony.
Yeah, of course.
He'd have a mechanic.
Of course.
A light went. Tony would just fix everything.
Yeah.
So it was almost, when it all came to an end, it was kind of like, fuck, okay, I've been, you know, babied for so long, almost like a father figure.
Yeah.
It's time for me to stand on my own feet, you know.
Can I tell you, Tony Del Vecchio is one of the best voices to hear in a change room before you fight.
Yeah.
The rise he manages to get out of his fighters whilst kind of creating because it's electric when you're about to fight, right? Before you make that walk, there's no person that walks the earth that will tell you that they feel no nerves.
Yeah.
So it's already an electric atmosphere. The way Tony happens to calm it down and then instill confidence in you, he's one of the best I've seen. And I've been in many, many dressing rooms. So you're campaigning at lightweight, right? You finally make the move to lightweight.
Yeah.
And then a few big fights present themselves. So it's an interesting kind of chapter of your career, because as you're going through, you have the Val Borg win, which was huge. That was kind of your real coming out party, right? You beat Miles as well, and then you go on to fight Ogilvy. That run of the Borg and the Miles, what type of shape are you in? What's your mental like? How are you making the weight?
I was on fire.
Yeah.
King of the world, man.
Yep.
That's what I like. I like being active, man. Just fight, then fight, then fight.
Yep.
Because it's not back then, when I didn't have a fight, then I'd start playing up. You know what I mean? When I'm focused, when I'm in camp, I'm focused the whole time now.
Yeah.
Chains of kids, it's different life.
The
different lives. But back then,
I
was wild. Like, when I wasn't in camp, I'd be out the whole time. I'd be mucking around. I still trying very hard. But when I had a fight day, like, you're fine. 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I was on fire, just running through them.
Yeah.
That's what worked for me. You know, some things work for people. Big long layoffs. For me, it's just a fight. I like fighting. I just want to fight. Mental state. I honestly thought I was king.
Yeah.
You know, I had that much confidence.
Did you believe you could be world champion at that point?
Yeah, 100%.
At that weight?
At that weight, I felt I just had to get them.
Yep.
Because I could really crack at that weight.
Yep.
And at that stage, like, I think I was ranked before Brandon. I just made my entry to the WBA rankings.
Yep.
Like, whatever, 13, 12 maybe.
Yeah.
Brandon was 8 or 7 when I fought him.
Yeah.
And the world champ at that time was Anthony Crawler.
Yeah.
Who was kind of one of the weaker world champions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, fuck.
If I'm just there.
I go in and do what I'm going to do to Ogilvy. Couple of rounds, good night. Then what are you going to do? Like 3, maybe 4. Start making noise. Then Crawler, a voluntary. So in my mind, I had it all played out.
Yeah, of course.
You know, but
of course.
What's the saying? God laughs when you have plans.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. And I went in, and the weight cut was horrible.
Was it? Had you outgrown the weight, or was it a bad weight cut? Because they're two different things, right?
I'd outgrown the weight.
Yeah,
definitely. Because it was even the fight before against Miles Zalewski.
Yeah.
Like, I only made weight on like the 4th attempt.
Yeah.
It's just I just couldn't do it anymore. the day after when I was rehydrating, I couldn't rehydrate properly. I felt like shit.
Yeah.
Like even getting into this
How
thing,
different is cutting weight back then to how you do it now?
easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep.
Like now I cut weight so easy. Sometimes in my mind I'm like, could I go back there? But it's a cliff. You know what I mean? You think it's all well and good, and you're just driving up, cutting weight.
Yeah.
It's not gradual. All of a sudden, it's boom.
Yep.
Once you go over there, you're fucked. There's no getting it back.
Yep.
And that's just what lightweight was for me. I guess what's lightweight 61.2.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was like a weight category 63.
Yeah.
Even 63, like half a kilo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, but I just couldn't. Maybe 62.5 even. Like
Because you're a massive frame.
Yeah.
You're a massive frame for
Yeah.
the super lightweight division, let alone for lightweights. And then, so you run into Ogilvy, right? The night obviously doesn't go to plan. What happened?
I lost. That's what happened. I mean, I don't make excuses because at the end of the day, I lost. I can give you facts, like the weight cut was terrible.
Yep.
I felt the worst I've ever felt in the boxing ring in there.
Yep.
I don't know how I made it through 10 rounds.
So when you're hitting pads in the back, ready to go out, do you know that your body isn't where it needs to be?
Oh, you know when you're feeling good, and you know when you're not feeling good, and
But you still, at that point,
yeah,
before you make the walk, go, I don't feel good, but I've got enough to beat him.
yeah. I've never walked into the ring thinking, oh fuck,
Here we go.
I'm not gonna win this.
Yep.
I've always, because I guess that will to win, it's always in me, and it never falters, and it never just fades away. And
Yeah.
if it's a tough crowd or whatever it may be, I'm still here to win. It's just a fight. It's just me and him.
Yeah.
And he ain't beat me. That's my mindset going in Danny fight. And Ogilvy, like I felt good. I remember just in the ring, like after that first round, he was so fast. Like he's a fast fighter as it is.
Yeah. Very talented.
Yeah.
Very talented fighter.
With me, again, I put on so much weight from rehydrating. I got into the ring at maybe like 72 kilos. So massive.
Really?
Yeah.
That big? Wow.
That big, and kept all the weight on.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm going to ragdoll him.
Yeah, of course.
I was incapacitated. I was
walking
around like a heavy bag. And then that exemplified how fast he was. Like, fuck, just stand there.
Yeah, of course.
I can't even, my legs aren't moving proper.
Yeah.
I've no snap in my legs. I'm kind of like dragging them along.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude, what's going on here? Like,
of course.
Just don't feel good,
Yeah. And that it was the hottest division in the country.
Yeah.
By far, that lightweight division. You had your Cambosis's, and then obviously the Valborgs. Valborg and Cambosis was meant to be the big fight. You were the spoiler. That is what happened.
Yeah.
So when you're running through these guys, and then you see that you get the opportunity against Ogilvy. Ogilvy was the fight you wanted, but Cambosis was the one that you were chasing for a long time. No.
Well, that's the fight everyone wanted to see. I mean,
I agree.
When prior to boxing Ogilvy, I just knocked out that reigning Australian champion in one round.
Yep.
On live TV.
Yep.
We were both based in Sydney, New South Wales.
Yep.
Like you said, it was meant to be Cambosis, Valborg.
That's
I went in and knocked Valborg out.
Yep.
Surely it would have made sense.
Yeah.
But
so why didn't it happen?
Because they didn't want it. They didn't want it at that stage, and that's just the way it was.
It seems to be a pretty common theme with your career that you get to a point where the landscape of the division shows who you should be fighting next. And it doesn't seem to happen. It's happened with Cambosis. It happened with Spark. And it happened with Paro as well. Why? What is it?
I'm running away from all these fights.
Must be, eh?
Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But like,
because let's play devil's advocate here, right? What is it? Are you asking for too much money?
Nah.
Are you
even
difficult with negotiations? Or has it not gotten to that point?
It hasn't even got that far.
Right.
Hasn't even got that far.
The phone just doesn't ring.
Nah, it's just like out out of them names you just said, so one of them is retired.
Yes.
The other guy just had a good win.
Yep.
And now he's looking for world titles or
Yep.
whatever. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
It makes perfect sense. I've just, fair enough, I lost. Put in a spirited losing effort against the undisputed, whatever you want to call them, uncrowned, undisputed, whatever.
Yep.
Why don't, if you're so good and so great and knocking everyone out, why don't you come knock me out and then you won up the undefeated, undisputed, then you're the best.
Yep.
Or
But there were rumours that fight was spoken about because you're on the same side of the street now, are you not?
I didn't hear it. If I didn't hear them
Interesting.
rumors, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you go through, you're now a super lightweight, you get your big win over Telford, which in my opinion should have put you on the map. And that next 12 months should have been your most active.
Yeah.
And it should have been your most busy. And that's when you were really going to cross over to a huge domestic star, but then get your global wins, your global credentials, your re-announcement and everything else in between. Because you're at your best when you're active. Why not the run after Telford? Why were you on the shelf?
People always say, what advice would you give to aspiring boxer starting off? And I always say, get yourself a good trainer, a trainer you trust, who doesn't lie, and get yourself a good manager. Because a good manager will guide your career. They'll sail you through you don't always want to go through them shark-infested waters.
No.
Sometimes, sail close to shore. Don't worry about them trade winds that may blow you into rocks, and they're good at navigating you.
Yeah.
I never had that.
Yep.
I never saw. I've always, one person would come in, another person would go, and then this and that. And so to get back to your point, like, that should have been the catalyst for everything you just spoke of. But because there was no one guiding me, it just kind of fizzled out. I put my hope in some guy which didn't amount to anything. And I mean, a boxer's role should just be to box.
To fight, absolutely.
Yeah. And a manager's role should be to place him in fights. But when you haven't got them walking in tandem, when you haven't even got one of them, it's difficult. It is a difficult business to be in, you know.
So how frustrating is that for you? Coming off arguably the best win of your career in the fashion that you did it, with all the hype and the coverage that fight got.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting on the shelf.
At the time, it was frustrating. It was very frustrating, of course. Like, I'm seeing everyone else progress. I know the appeal that fight made, like the reach you had.
Of course.
I remember after that fight, we went traveling to 2 days after the fight. We done like a Christmas trip getaway, couple of friends, up to Far North Queensland, like a 3-day kind of camping trip. And that. And the first time was from Sydney we had to cross the border. It was COVID times. So we had to get in Queensland before they shut the borders. And it was like an 8-hour drive straight across the border. And I was sitting there for, I'm not even lying, probably about 6-7 hours, just replying to messages off Instagram. Like, there was that many. It was crazy, man. I've never experienced nothing like in my life.
Really?
People saying, the spirit you showed last night. There was one message in particular a man sent me. I just lost my 3-year-old child recently, and the spirit you showed in that ring last night, the courage, has gave me a new lease of life to move forward with life, because I felt like I'm dead ever since they passed. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, that was bringing, even re-signing that has made me hair standing with to hear that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
For me, just going in there and just doing me, like, not giving up, fighting till the death. I'm gonna get you, and you're not gonna get me. Can have that
mentality,
outpouring on people. So of course it was very frustrating when all this was happening, and I couldn't understand why me, like, what have I done? Does my face not fit? Obviously I wasn't privy to what was going on in the background,
of course,
with these negotiations. Now, how do I look on it? That's just life, man. You know, it's you can't dwell on the past or live in the past, and boxing's never gonna be smooth, man. Unless you've set out that core team from the initiation who are all aligned and who all want your best interest at heart and want you to prosper, so they will be beneficiaries of that.
Yep.
Because rising tide, and as the saying goes,
Yep.
then it's hard, you know. And it like boxing's not easy. My
No.
my first initiation into boxing, going 4 rounds against the fucking nearly dying.
Yeah.
I knew from then it ain't gonna be easy, man. It's not, and there's still gonna be tumultuous waters moving forward. There's still always gonna be fight shit at the minute of no fight scheduled. Why? Or because there's bullshit going on. Because of a fight left with Matchroom at the minute, but they're saying I've torn down fights, and I'm saying, well, I didn't turn down fights. I accepted a fight in October to fight in LA against the guy Rishat Maddy.
Yeah.
He got injured, and then all the other fights you were offering me was November, middle of November, when I
Which you
couldn't
couldn't
have
do.
them because I had a child the first day of December.
Yep.
So, you know, there's always going to be that bullshit element.
So
to it.
you're going through that now, are you?
Yeah.
Currently?
You're always going through something, man. It's never plain sailing, man.
No.
But if you, like anything in life, if you keep doing the right thing, you keep waking up every day and putting one foot in front of the next and keep doing what you're meant to do. What am I meant to do as a boxer? Train, rest, do the best I can, stay in shape. Like I told you, when did I fight last? May. I've got nothing on the horizon. Where's the cameras? These 3 cameras?
Yeah.
I've nothing on the horizon. Look at this. Now you tell me if anyone else. Sorry, you're not breaking. Which one? Look at
I said it.
Where am I
I
going?
said or any of those.
Who else looks like this? Who else looks like this?
Stay ready.
And people say, "Oh, stay ready," so you don't. I embody it, man. And this ain't like this. I'm proof. I'm ready.
So
Give me 3, 4 weeks. I'm good to go.
You're in the gym every day.
Every day, twice most days.
So what do you want? What do you want? Is there a name? What is it?
Everything. I still want everything. I still have that desire. You know, I'm 25 now.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, you know, how much has he got left? Does he?" Yeah. I still feel good. I can only tell you, if anyone that's followed my career and knows me personally knows I'm an honest man.
Yes.
I can only tell you how I feel. I feel good. I don't feel like I'm slipping. I'm still sparring. I've sparred twice this week.
Yeah.
Why you've now fight? Why? Because I love this shit.
Yeah.
And I know if I keep waking up every day, put one foot in front of the next, then things will happen. The world will just work itself out. I'll get a fight, and then it won't all be in vain. What do I want? I just still want to go as far as I can. I want to be
far
involved.
is that?
I don't know. I want to find out though.
Of course.
I want to be involved in big fights. I want to financially, you know, before with boxing, it used to always be like I want to win a world title. I was so hell bent, like that's all. So with that, when that is your sole focused, you can get abused to a certain extent.
Most definitely.
In the okay, right, well listen, you're not gonna make much money this fight, and it's the usual spiel they all tell you. You're not gonna make much money this fight, but this fight's gonna push you forward. Then the next one, you do all right, and then you win that one. Then the next one, listen, it's this, that, the other. Then the next one after that, I don't care about rankings. I now know that unless a freak of nature happens and I go in and do something and then miraculously I get called on the show, I'm never gonna fight for a world title. I'm good with that. That's my dream gone. That's my dream for the past 12 years. I'm good with that. What I want out of boxing now is to be involved in massive fights where I'm going to be remembered, where I'm going to make good money to provide for my family, to set their future up. And that's all good. It's not, I didn't get into this game for the money, but I'm still here now to get what I can out of the sport, to be involved in big fights. And does that mean that I'm not going to fight as hard as I once did? No. I remember watching an interview with Mikey Garcia, like we were chatting about earlier on, and he said that he hates boxing because I don't even watch it. I'm just good at it.
Yeah.
I just do it for the money.
Yeah.
It pays me. I don't like boxing.
Yep.
It just pays me really good, like, and I don't even watch it. I don't know any of the boxers really, apart from the guys that train in the gym.
Yeah.
And maybe if they're fighting someone down at bantamweight, I'll know that guy. Because I like cars. It pays well. So, I mean, he done all right, didn't he? What, 3-4 weight world champion?
Yeah. For a bloke that didn't like it.
There's different drivers. And I guess it's the same with stages of life. Like, different things drive you. When you're maybe 20, all you cared about was a new pair of whatever Yeezys or whatever that come out.
Yeah.
When you're 30, you don't give a shit. But that's what I'm now, boxing big fights, big money fights, and just keep doing what I'm doing, you know.
We had a very similar conversation like this one. There weren't microphones or cameras or lights in a little cafe in Waterloo.
Yeah.
A couple of years back now, and you were in a very, very similar mindset. And I think that is right about the point where everyone should be scared. Because for me, I look at it from the perspective of what you have to offer. And if I was moving my fighters, I'll be honest with you, Darragh Foley's probably a name I'd knock back if it came across the.
I'm hard work. I'm who needs a club.
Yeah.
Because there's no will in me, and unless you are elite, you're probably gonna get beat.
Absolutely.
And people don't. They obviously don't want to. I mean, what I have one ball that is in my court is I'm still ranked quite high on BoxRec.
Yes.
I'm now known,
yes,
especially after the matchroom thing. You don't want to fight people pick up and take notice because it's entertaining. I'm never in a bad fight. That's probably my detriment in my last fight against Cacho.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, like, his style is just wait, lay traps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck this. In the end, I just have to go.
Yeah, of course.
I have to go. I'm not even at home. He's at home. He's got 15,000 people there, but I have to go because it's the fighter in me. I just can't do this, like, little game, you know? But maybe I should have tried it a bit more, you know? But that's the fight that's in me.
But that's the thing you got there. Who's the best fighter you've been in with?
Jack Catchell.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he doesn't like I was obviously doing study looking at him. This guy ain't got no man this.
Yeah.
Then when he does this, it's so easy, just get it the other way.
Yeah.
Whatever he does as slowing the pace down, man.
Yeah.
It's like he turned a fighter in me that I like to let my hands go.
Yeah.
I average probably 60, 70 punches around.
Yeah.
Against him, I could throw like 10, 15.
Yeah.
Because it's just
clever.
like he's like a snake charmer. He just slows it down, and has a very good jab as well. Very good, slows it down. He's dirty as well. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And any time I started to build little footholds in the fight, I get a bit of momentum. Boom, it hit me low, disrupting.
Yeah.
Know that then I'd
change
react
your rhythm.
Yeah.
Of course.
Even if you look at the knockdown, well, the first one was a slip. Watch it back. the second one though, he hits me low.
Yeah.
And then I go off to the corner. I reel around. He hits me low. The referee, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you. So then I run over, go to hit him low, dig in too. Obviously, that's not my, I don't go down to that destination south of the border that often. So I ain't doing it that proficiently. He comes back, hits me low, boom, picks me up, boom, comes over the top. So, yeah.
So what's next then? You fought what you're telling me is the best fighter you've been in the ring with.
Yeah.
You described it as a spirited performance.
Yeah.
Right? You seem to be with the promoter that can make fights happen. We mentioned names before. Well, one's retired off the table, right? Another one's coming off, let's call it his career best win, right? What's next for you? Do you build in the rankings? Do you want another big fight? Are there names? Are there people? Is there a location?
Eddie Hearn, make sure you tag him in this.
I will.
I don't know what's next. You tell me who you got, where you sending me. Yeah, which camera? Any of them cameras. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Let me know.
How far away are you from fight shape, you reckon?
I could fight in 4 weeks' time.
All right.
I could do 10 rounds.
Well, brother, this podcast is going to drop.
Let's go.
And every promoter
4
on
weeks
the
from
planet knows that 4 weeks from now that you can headline a show.
100%. So watch, they start ringing. Oh, we've been fighting 2 weeks.
we got to fight in 7 days' notice. Can you jump
Or
in?
maybe I could be double bluffing you. I
Who
was ready
knows?
yesterday. How about that?
Exactly.
But I don't know, to answer your question. Like the fights like Paro, but that fight should get made.
Yeah.
If Matchroom, I don't know if they are. If they're not, are they coming back in April?
Why would you take that fight if you're Paro though?
Who else are you gonna fight?
There's plenty.
Who?
Ryan Garcia.
They're not gonna fight him.
Yeah, but why? If you're Ryan, why wouldn't you fight him?
Why would you? There's no money in it.
Ryan's going to make money either way.
Yeah,
If
but
you can't get Devin Haney, right, and you can't get any of the other elite names, Rolly's already tied up, Pitbull's already tied up. So what do?
Do you think that's pay-per-view worthy?
I think any Ryan Garcia show is going to be pay-per-view worthy because
Yeah.
if you look at the boxing fraternity, they aren't your prime audience. They're
Yeah.
not your target market if you're Ryan Garcia. You have to look at your TikTok numbers and go, there's people that are going to watch this because it's Ryan Garcia, right? So he could fight Barboza. He could fight anyone at the weight. It doesn't matter. But
Well, say he doesn't get them fights.
who? Paro?
So Paro doesn't get any of them
Yeah.
big fights, and wants a little keep busy, handy little win, like
Yeah, just an easy one.
just
Little
an easy
Irishman
one,
that he
you know
can
what I mean?
blow out of the water
two
early.
rounds or something.
Yeah,
Hit with
yeah.
a little, left hand or something like
Yeah.
that. But they won't because they know they would have done that on the way up. Like they cleaned out Australia without cleaning out Australia. Same with Steve Sparks. So it's like people can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, their actions don't look, especially in this era, this day and age of social media and all this bullshit. Don't look at what people type into their phone and then appear on the app so everyone can see, or even what they say a lot of the time. Look at their actions. Look at what they do. Customaro once famously, one of his quotes, Mike Tyson's trainer, was what people do in the end, despite what they have said in between, was what they always wanted to do at the beginning. In other words, what people do in the end is you can say and do this and I'll beat this guy and this would be easy, but you didn't and you never will or have, or you look the other way, or who needs him or who needs that. It's the way it is, man. The way of the world, innit?
So in 12 months' time, when we sit down again,
Yeah.
if not before, it's now 2025.
Yeah.
It's January.
Yeah.
How are you going to look back at your 2024? What are you going to say you've done?
That's a good question.
I'm here for the good
I'd-
questions,
I'd-
brother.
I w-
I'm here.
I would like to say, I would like to think it was successful, it was fruitful, it was I know I would have done my best, given my best. People enjoyed it, and whatever will be, I mean, at this, like, it's good for me in the sense I'm getting to travel the world.
Yeah.
Like, I know they ain't never gonna say, hey, do you want to do a show in Sydney? We have you as the ace. I'm good with that, man.
Yeah.
Fling me into Botswana or whoever's
Yeah.
back garden.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15. Many was in ME and 20,000 people baying for my blood. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I'll stand up there, walk to the ring. What? Yeah, boo me. You could never do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Keep booing.
Yeah.
Bitch. What are you? Stand there looking at me, walking the fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but so yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna fight. Probably someone's back garden, all well and good. Just pay me for the privilege. I'll be there. I'll give my best. Majority of the times is good enough. On occasions, at the elite, probably whatever mitigating factors it hasn't been. But that's life, man. All you can ever do is your best, and I'll continue to do that. Then, like, how long have I got left? I still feel good. But as the old saying goes, a fighter will fight till he can't win anymore.
Yeah.
Then have a couple more just to make sure of it. So, but by that standard, I could be here till I'm 39, 40.
Yeah.
No, I won't do that. I'm too, I like to think I'm too astute for that. But I definitely want to have at least one bare knuckle fight after boxing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Well, not only that,
Why?
After I'm done on my little world tour.
Yeah.
I'll come back. I'll have a fight or two in Australia.
You're gonna
I
bless the locals, are you?
I need to, because I have a lot of fans here, a lot of people that have been with me
Of
from
course.
the inception, like similar to yourself, have seen me in the punch bowl, all that.
Yep.
And it's only good. But if when I come back, when I start doing my thing, I want it to be for big fight. Like I want to challenge myself, like really challenge myself.
Yeah.
Like go whoop in weights.
Yep.
Like get in against these killers that are everyone's saying, oh, he's running through everyone. Come run through me. See how that goes. See, can you run through me? I don't think you can. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Who?
Weight class above or another one above?
Weight class above's too easy, man.
I think so too. I think junior middle is where you'd sit. What do you reckon?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm probably walking around a little bit over that now, so that would be good.
Yeah, I think
Junior
so
mid
too.
would be a good one. Who's the real killer there? Who's everyone afraid of there?
Nikita.
Come
Ever heard
walk
of
through
him?
Me. Come walk through me.
Nikita Zoo.
Come walk through me. But we'll see, man.
We will see.
I still got business to do. That's all in the future. But I want to have a bare knuckle fight, most definitely.
Why? Dude,
to feel it.
have you not seen the shit that happens there? Dude, it's like cutting up a watermelon.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, but that's only when I reckon that my slicers start flying and it ain't no tactics in that. Go out swinging.
Yeah.
No jabs, no
Swang.
nothing, man. I'm literally I'm throwing shovels in there, man. So it would be fun though to say you've done it. That's what I'm all about. Experiences, like just to say you've done it. If your face gets a couple of cuts.
Character.
I'm not exactly any oil painting right now, you know what I mean? I'm better than 95% of the population, but
95.
yeah, I'll go there, man.
All right. 95,
Mate,
okay.
certified DILF. Certified DILF, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Two-time.
Right.
Can I get a two-time? But I'd like to have one. And then see how that goes. Who knows? I could become a BKFC world champion. Yeah. Dave Feldman, hit me up, buddy. But that's definitely in the works.
Well, super. You have a tremendous story.
Yeah.
And I'm exceptionally excited to say that it's not even nearly over. So I hope that 2024 is exactly what you said. And if I could surmise you in a few words, it would be that if your quest was to be remembered, you're absolutely going to fucking be remembered. I can tell you that now. Thank you for coming on, brother.
That's good enough for me, mate. Thank you, buddy.
Pleasure.
Thank you.